Hey Duckies! Review 3 is in session. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you! So for today's video, finally, makukomplete na rin ang ating number and letters series na tutorial, okay? So in this one, we're gonna deal with part 2, which delves more on your letter series. So no yapping session from me today. Malapit ng NMAT for October cycle, so let's get into it. So if you could remember this one, the number and letter series are twins and they are part of one section under your inductive reasoning subtest. So yung number series, tapos na tayo dito. And now, we're gonna be discussing your letter series and how to answer it, how it differentiates from your number series. So what is letter series? So this is actually a sequence of letters that follows a specific logical rule or pattern. Sounds familiar? Yes, that's exactly like your number series. But what's the difference? This one is that it deciphers the underlying rule and determine the next letter or letters in the sequence. Ooh, so may clue na kayo. It's plurals with an S, so more than one, okay? And then you also have to figure out the hidden logic behind them and describe a possible future event following the next letters. So if you could remember from your number series, you have these typical patterns, but don't worry too much, Duckies, kasi sa NMAT naman yung mabenta lang dito is yung arithmetic pattern for your letter series, okay? So basically, plus, minus lang yung nandito. Wala nang as complicated as geometric or etc. So I would introduce you instead to the patterns that are typical in your letter series. So we have here the forward series, basically from A to Z, A, B, C, D. The answer is obviously E. Okay, they also have your backward series from Z to A. So you have there Z, Y, X, W, and blank. Okay, so ano daw yung kasunod ni W? Okay, so for this one, as you can see, diba, parang plus and minus lang sa places dun sa alphabet. So, arithmetic lang siya. And then, so, ano nga? Parang nagdi-distract ako kasi hindi ko ma-answer yung ano yung after ng W. Wait. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, V. Okay, so your answer is V. O, diba? Kinanta po talaga yung whole alphabet. Balik tayo nursery, guys. Balik tayo kinder. So, pag hindi mo alam yung usual patterns or techniques and how to answer your letter series, so, magiging katulad nyo rin ako ngayon na kailangan pang i-sing out yung melody para makuha lang yung sagot. Okay, so later on, I'll teach you how to do these better with minimum time consumed. Okay, we also have your fixed interval series. Ito yung pinaka parang arithmetic lang talaga. My fixed number of intervals or difference between the letters. Example, ito yung B, A, H, K. So from B to E, that's like 3 places to the right or plus 3, right? So from B, C, D, and then E. Okay, it's the third letter after B. And then if we could see from E to H, it's also 3 letters apart. Okay, from H to K, the same, 3 letters. So we could assume already that K to the blank or the missing term is plus 3 as well. So that is K, L, M, N. Okay, your answer for this one is N. We also have what's called your repetition series or kind of like an alteration series. So dito may sumisingit. Okay, may pabida na letra na parang always siyang sumasapaw. Okay, so we have here example A, B, A, C, A, D. So it's basically B, C, D, E, pero may A na always pumapagitna. Okay, so from this one, we could already see the pattern and we could already know that the blank term is another A. So here we could remember our 5 steps in answering your number series. We're gonna use that again for letter series, okay? But we're gonna build on it. We're gonna turn it up a notch. As I've said dun sa previous tutorials sa number series, no? Kaya ko siya in-separate into 2 is so that you won't get confused, okay? Yung knowledge niyo for how to solve number series would get consolidated first before I add on stuff when it comes to answering naman your letter series. So we have here step 1. Recap lang tayo. Copy the sequence onto your whiteboard agad-agad. So as you won't have a hard time solving it like on the screen mismo. Kasi may iba na nag-use lang ng eyes and mind to solve it, and that may lead to erroneous answers. So to keep things safe, just copy it onto your whiteboard. Okay, you have to leave a blank then after the last term. Why? So that you would be remembered. The blank is the missing term that you are looking for, that you should include it when pairing stuff, okay? Speaking of pairing, step 3 is to count how many terms there are. Remember our memory trick? 5 or less, just assess. 6 or more, pair and explore. Okay, so recap. If there's only 5, just like this one in the example, you could just go ahead and pair everything, okay? And then assess as is what the relationships are from the first term to the second to third and so on. But if there are 6 or more, example, this is 6, okay? Then we're gonna go ahead and pair starting from the blank and then pair it with the one adjacent to it, okay? So this is how you pair in number series. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that leaves us with the missing term to be 12, okay? So there is plus 2. So that's just an example for this one. And then number 4, analyze the pattern between the duos or the terms. So basically, we know that it's arithmetic. We just have to figure out if it's forward, backward, if there are alternating or repeating letters, or if there are fixed intervals. And then lastly, you apply the prevailing pattern to all of the duos until you reach the answer for the missing term. Now, as I've said, we're going to build on these 5 fundamental steps in your number series to properly answer your letter series questions. So I don't want to mess with your consolidated knowledge already on steps 1 to 5, but there's actually a preceding term for this one if you're gonna answer letter series. So I just added in step 0. Okay, so for this one, write the alphabet 5 letters per row. Okay, what do I mean by this? So you go ahead and write A, B, C, D, E. Okay, only 5 letters per row. And then go to the next row and write F up until the 5th number for that row. And then 5 talaga na letters per row all the way to letter Z. Siya na lang yung nag-iisa sa last row natin of 5 letters. So this is how you write, okay, the alphabet. So when you see letter series, I want you to first and foremost write the alphabet, okay, even before writing the sequence onto your whiteboard. Actually ako, pagkadating ko sa subtest nito sa NMAT, always ko talagang sinusulat na agad-agad yung alphabet, okay, to save time. Be swift about it. So why do we have to write like this? Why is this recommended? It is because dito kasi sa letter series, it's actually easier for your number series in the sense that sometimes kasi yung sequence ng terms, para ka lang nagbibingo, okay? Makikita mo talaga na it's either horizontal, like by column, yung sequence pala, or by row, or minsan pa diagonal. So, yes, para ka lang nagbibingo-bingo. So, if you write it this way, you could see the pattern appearing na already despite not solving anything. Okay? So, another thing I want to emphasize for your letter series is the way we pair is different from that of the number series. So, in your number series, as you can see, you pair from the blank directly to its adjacent. And then the other term, and then its adjacent. Yung kapitbahay lang na number. But here, in your letter series, in this example though, it's just 5, so we just assess. But assuming that there's another term there, we put another blank. There's 6 terms already before the blank. What you do is that instead of pairing it to its kapitbahay or adjacent, you actually leave a letter. Okay, you don't do it like your number series. What do I mean by leave a letter? You skip. You leave a gap, you jump. Okay? And then anything that is not included in your pairings, you don't mind. Okay? You don't entertain. This is so that you would have less relationships to or patterns to discern. Okay? You only need to work on the ones that are necessary. Okay, so in letter series, leaving a gap or leaving a letter suffices. So, para siyang naka-social distancing for letter series, okay? Remember that. So, this is how you pair in letter series. So, I hope that you practiced na already a lot on your number series so that you already have the 5 steps by heart. You just add the step 0 and then emphasize on how the pairing differs from the number series. Okay? And then let's go ahead and put it to the test by answering some practice questions. So again, when you see letter series or pagka first page pa lang sa inductive reasoning subtest, write the alphabet na already by 5. Okay? By rows of 5. Ganon. And then let's proceed to steps 1 to 5. Ano nga ulit yan? Steps 1 to 5. Copy it onto your whiteboard. And then you have to leave a blank. Next count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 or more. Pair and explore. Remember, leave a letter, leave a gap. Social distancing for your letter series. Okay, so these are the letters and relationships that matter. So we have to find out how M relates to Q, to U, and to the blank. Okay, so let's start with this one. So M, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 4 places to the right ng M yung Q. So that's plus 4. Okay, let's see how it relates naman to U. Plus 4 pa din. So we could already assume that the missing term is plus 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so our plus 4 is Y, and that would be our answer already. Okay, so it's that easy, right? So this is how you solve methodologically or systematically when you actually compute for everything. Okay, but there is the ninja moves, which I highly recommend that you practice for yourself. Kasi, as I've been saying in inductive reasoning, we don't have the luxury of time. Everything is mabilisan. So work on your ninja skills, your ninja moves. So as you can see here, para tayong nagbibingo, right? May diagonal na pala na pattern. So we need to know what is to the left of Z. What is to the left of Z? That's Y. Okay? So automatic. Wala nang count. Y yung answer. So let's move on. So, as I've said earlier, it's plurals with an S. So meron talagang terms dito sa letter series na tig-dalawang letters. Okay? So when you see them, approach them like you normally would in one letters only na series. You deal with the first terms first. I think that's confusing. You deal with the first letters first of each term. And then you proceed. So yung goal lang talaga dito is para mag-panic kayo. So do not panic, okay? Keep calm. And then panic. Good job. Keep calm lang talaga, chill, okay? So let's see. Again, first and foremost, your alphabet, okay? Leave a blank and then count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pairing everything, okay? Just assessing it as you would. Now, let's deal with the first letters of each term first. Let's start with W, P, M, and F. So let's see how they relate to each other. W, where are you? There it is. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So P is 7 places to the left of your W. So that's minus 7, right? Let's see if that is a prevailing pattern. P to M, 1, 2, 3. This time it's minus 3 though, so it could be alternating. Let's see M to F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, boom. Negative 7 pa rin. So you could already assume that the next term is negative 3 or minus 3. 3 spaces to the left of F. 1, 2, 3. C. So that is your answer already. Let's see if we could eliminate the choices. So, not A, not B. It's already in C. Not D and not E. Diba? We do not need to solve for the second letter of the term anymore. The answer is already found in the first one. So, wag talaga magpanic, guys. Masasolve nyo lang yan. So, again, this is how you systematically answer these ones. Let's see how we could answer this one faster via ninja moves. So, as you can see here, W, P, M, F, C. There's a pattern that you start from the bottom to the top, and at the same time, from the third column to to the first, to column, to the third, to the first, and the third again. Okay, so you do not need to solve. So ako actually, while I was preparing for the NMAT, I always answer practice tests 2 ways. Okay, first one is the way I would do under time pressure. Okay, how I would answer everything. And then once I'm done answering everything, before I check, I always look for how to answer every question easier. Like, I could have saved time if I answered it like this. Ganon. Para masanay na ako na when I answer, I always have to look for the ones that would require less solutions and less time consumption. So let's move on to the third one. So again, alphabet and then blank, count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So again, pair everything. Despite this being 2 letters per term, let's start with the relationships of the first terms first. Okay? Now let's figure out how C relates to V. So C is here and V is way down there. So ang layo, no? So parang I don't want to count anymore, but still, let's figure out it systematically first. So you would see. So here, V is actually 19. Oh my god. 19 places to the right of C. That's plus 19. Let's see how V na naman would relate to H. So as we count, it's actually 14 places to your left of V. So, naging minus 14 yung pattern. So, analyzing it so far, I could see na nag-flip yung sign. Okay, right? From positive naging negative. And then nag-decrease yung number mismo ng 5. Okay? From 19 naging 14. Let's see with the other terms if ganito pa rin yung relationship and if ito na ba talaga yung prevailing pattern. H to Q, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, to the right, that's positive na naman. This time, it's plus 9. Oh, parang ito na nga yung pattern. Nag-switch yung sign, nag-flip, naging positive, and then nag-decrease yung number by 5 from 14, naging 9. So by that, we could predict that this one is negative na. And then if mag-decrease tayo ng 5 sa number, it would be 4. So let's see if Q to M is that relationship. Okay, tumpak, boom. It's 4 nga, negative 4. Okay, so from this one, we could already see na it is positive, right? And that if it is decreased by 5, 4 minus 5, that's negative 1. Okay, so positive sign times your negative 1. Ano yung mananaig? It's negative. Okay? So, negative 1 from M. Let's see. That is your L. Okay? So, that is already your answer na. So, let's see if we could eliminate. Not A, not R. Oh, not B pala. Not C, not D. Okay. It's L from your letter E. So, ito na yung correct answer. Okay? So, guys, as you can see, huwag magpanic. Okay? Even if it seems overwhelming, there will be an answer. You will get to it eventually. Because soon when we will become doctors, you have to maintain a clear mind. So the NMAT is already training you to do that, to not get so rattled easily. Para makalat na siya, erase muna natin. Let's see how we can do it ninja moves, okay? As you can see, C is here, V is here, next is H, next is Q, oh, next is M, and then obviously next is L. So hindi na need mag-analyze arithmetically, okay? You could already see the patterns there. Another thing, you could also approach 2-letter terms as is, okay? So here it is by 2. H-I-Q-P, M-N, L-K. Okay, so that is your answer already. So actually, if you have the time to do both systematic and ninja moves, you could actually use ninja moves as cross-checking, okay? For your answers. So, that is that. Okay, let's move on to our fourth question. Damn! Naging 3 letters na tayo. So yes, as I've said earlier, it's really plurals with an S. It's plural, guys. So we have here 3 letters. And then don't panic. Okay, let's deal with the first terms first. Do not entertain the second and third ones. Do not get overwhelmed. Okay, so again, alphabet by 5. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 or more. Pair and explore. It is letter series, so leave a letter, leave a gap. Social distancing tayo. So CFD, ILJ, ORP are not entertained. Okay, only these ones are the terms that matter. So from A to G to M. A, so we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 pa rin. So we can already assume that the first letter plus 6. Ano na ba? Sorry, na-deform na yung 6 natin. So again, count. So our sixth term from M is S. It's not A, not B, not C, not D, but it is, however, letter E. So, ayan na yung answer. Okay? And then, if you do ninja moves, ayun, bingo. Nag-diagonal pala. Yun na yung sequence. Yun na yung pattern, guys. Ganun lang. O, di ba? Nag-panic pa kayo, na-overwhelm pa kayo, yun lang pala yung answer. Diagonal lang sa bingo. Di ba? Okay. So, moving on to our last question for practice test. Woo! Di ba? Madami na tayong na-learn. Chill-chill lang tayo. Masaya. Oh, ganun dapat always. Okay? Wag mag-stress. So here, again, your alphabet. Keep it handy. We put a blank and then we count. So it's 5 or less. So just assess, pair everything. Okay? Now, what I want you to do before anything else is to notice the terms. What do you see? Y is being repeated over and over, but this time it's always in the center. So you could assume that for our missing term, the center letter is also Y. So D is out because it doesn't have Y in the center. Okay, so you eliminate the choices. So B, G, L, and Q. Oh, back, bingo! You don't even have to solve kasi kitang-kita na. Na yung next term pala is V. Okay, so out na naman si C. Eliminated. Kasi it doesn't have V as a first letter. So let's see here. What is the relationship between your E, J, O, and T? Bam! O, ganun. Another. Bingo. Your next term, letter, the last is Y pala. We have our answer already. It's B. Ganun lang ka-simple, Doki, yung letter series. Mas marami lang siyang rules than number series, but the rules are there to help make letter series easier. I hope that you were answering with me, and then I have a lot of faith in you guys that you got a lot of the answers right, and for that, woo! Congrats! So, this is the end. This is the last part already of the tutorial, and I hope that you did learn a lot. So, these are my references. Okay, so they are very similar with your number series lang. Twins lang talaga sila. So if this video helped even a little bit in easing your anxieties or your difficulties in your own NMAT journey, I do appreciate it if you like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, that is everything. This has been Review with Ray, reminding you that the hours you've put in will never amount to nothing. See you next time. Bye!